Some mornings feel heavy, even when the sun shines. Your body may be rested, but your spirit feels broken. In a world that demands constant strength, the Stoics offer a different path: resilience through wisdom. Each morning is a chance to reset, to rise with clarity and calm. These 10 Stoic habits are not grand gestures, but quiet rituals that build inner strength. They help you face chaos with composure, failure with courage, and life with purpose. Practice them daily, and your mornings will become more than routines. They'll be rebirths. Let each day begin not with noise, but with intention. Let's begin. 1. Calmness is strength. Have you ever lost your temper over a single word or glance, only to regret it moments later? In today's overstimulated world, calmness is often mistaken for weakness, but Stoics see it as strength. They don't react impulsively. They observe, reflect, and act with clarity. Marcus Aurelius taught, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." When betrayed, he responded with reason, not rage. Seneca, ordered to die by Nero, met his fate with peace and dignity. Calmness isn't indifference, it's inner freedom. It's choosing not to be pulled into emotional games or dictated by external chaos. Each morning, instead of scrolling through noise, begin with stillness. Write what you feel, breathe, choose response over reaction. Calmness is a habit, a decision, a quiet power. It's the foundation for wise choices and steady leadership. When you cultivate it daily, you build a mind that remains unmoved by storms. He who controls his anger controls his destiny. And every morning offers a chance to practice that control, to build a life led by reason, not reaction. 2. Persevere even in failure. Failure stings, especially when you've given your all, but Stoics see failure not as defeat, but as a teacher. Epictetus said, "Difficulties show men what they are." When you fall, you face a choice: surrender in bitterness, or rise with trembling strength. Failure doesn't mean you're worthless. It reveals where growth is needed. Replace "why me" with "what can I learn?" That shift turns pain into progress. Psychologist Angela Duckworth's research on grit confirms this. Perseverance predicts success more than talent or intelligence. The Stoics knew this long ago. It's not about being the fastest. It's about never quitting. Each morning ask yourself, what am I striving for? And what mistakes am I willing to make to grow? Failure is not the final note. It's a pause in your life's symphony. Let it strengthen your resolve. You may fall 7 times, but rising the 8th is victory. Not because you never fell, but because you refused to stay down. Perseverance is quiet, humble, and unshakable. Practice it daily, and you'll walk through fog toward light. 3. Learn to be humble. The ego whispers, "I must be right, I must be better." But Stoics choose humility, not as weakness, but as strength. Epictetus wrote, "Don't explain your philosophy. Embody it." True character doesn't need applause. It's revealed in quiet integrity, consistent action, and calm under pressure. Humility means knowing your strengths, admitting your flaws, and releasing the need to dominate every conversation. It's saying, "I don't know" without shame, celebrating others' success without envy, and admitting, "I was wrong" as a sign of growth. Begin with small acts. Listen instead of interrupting, help without seeking credit, reflect without judgment. As Tim McGraw sings, "Always stay humble and kind." The greatest kindness isn't loud, it's steady and selfless. Each morning remind yourself, you don't need to be the best, just the most willing to learn. You don't need applause, just honesty and resolve. Humility builds resilience, deepens relationships, and grounds you in truth. Live not to impress, but to improve. When you lead with humility, you become a quiet force of wisdom in a noisy world. 4. Be grateful for what you have. Gratitude begins with awareness. The Stoics practiced premeditatio malorum, imagining loss not to fear it, but to awaken appreciation. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." When you realize everything could vanish, your job, health, loved ones, you begin to cherish the ordinary. A peaceful breakfast, a kind word, a painless breath become gifts. Gratitude isn't denial of hardship, it's clarity amid it. John Wooden, legendary coach, embodied this. After losing his wife of 60 years, he wrote her monthly letters, placing them on her pillow. Love while you still can. Each morning imagine having nothing but yourself. You'll find you still possess reason, courage, dignity, and love, qualities no one can take. Gratitude shifts your focus from proving to being, from competing to contributing. Relationships become spaces for kindness, dreams become journeys of service. You don't need to lose everything to be grateful. Just pause, reflect, and live awake. Gratitude is strength. It grounds you, frees you, and fills each day with quiet meaning. 5. Master your emotions. Emotions can feel overwhelming. One glance, one comment, and suddenly your confidence crumbles. But Stoics teach that emotions are signals, not identity. Feeling fear doesn't mean you're weak. Feeling sadness doesn't mean you're broken. You can feel deeply and still act wisely. Nelson Mandela, imprisoned for 27 years, chose forgiveness over hatred. "I am the master of my fate," he said. That's emotional mastery, not suppression, but conscious response. Each morning, take time to listen inwardly. Ask, what am I feeling? And where is it coming from? Emotions arrive uninvited, but you decide how to respond. Watch them like clouds passing through the sky. Don't drown in them. Observe, understand, and act with clarity. Mastering emotions means choosing reason and compassion over impulse. It's not coldness, it's warmth with direction. When you respond with awareness, you build inner strength. You become steady, not shaken. Each day offers a chance to practice this. Before the world's noise enters, center yourself. Emotional mastery isn't perfection, it's presence. And presence is the foundation of wisdom, resilience, and peace. 6. Learn to respond. A single message, a rejection or mistake can weigh down your entire day, if you let it. But Stoics teach that it's not the event that hurts you, but your interpretation of it. Epictetus said, "No one can harm you unless you allow them to. An insult is just sound until you turn it into a wound. A failure is just data until you let it define you." Marcus Aurelius reminded us, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. You have the power to revoke that estimate. Each morning, visualize a challenge you might face. Ask, how will I respond without losing myself? You don't need to win every argument or react to every slight. You need to protect your calm. Responding is strength. It's choosing wisdom over wounds. In the pause between stimulus and reaction lies your power. Practice that pause. Reflect, then act. When you respond deliberately, you build a mind that's unshaken and a heart that's steady. That's how you lead, not with noise, but with clarity. 7. Stop procrastinating. I'll do it tomorrow. We've all said it, but each delay sends a subtle message. I can't trust myself. Over time, these small postponements erode self-respect. Stoics believed action creates inspiration, not the other way around. Seneca warned, "While we waste our time hesitating and postponing, life is slipping away." Time doesn't wait. Ideas left unacted upon fade. The things you almost did remain dreams, unless you begin. Action doesn't need perfection, it needs momentum. Stephen King wrote in a cramped bathroom, balancing a board on his knees. He didn't wait for ideal conditions. He started. That's the secret. Begin, even if it's messy. Use the 2-minute rule. Read 1 page. Open the document. Small actions build trust and momentum. Each morning, choose 1 task you've delayed. Do it for 2 minutes, not to impress, but to rebuild belief in yourself. Acknowledge your procrastination. Forgive yourself. Move forward. You don't need motivation. You need movement. And once you move, energy follows. The fear of beginning is the real barrier. Break it today. Begin, and let action lead the way. 8. Lead by example, not judgment. In a world flooded with opinions, Stoics choose action over argument. Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one instead of preaching, they live with integrity." True leadership isn't loud, it's consistent, humble, and rooted in values. You don't need to fix others. Begin by correcting yourself. A father teaches respect by apologizing when wrong. A leader inspires by taking the hardest task first. When you live rightly, your actions speak louder than words. Judgment is easy. Empathy takes strength. Behind every cold glance may be a hidden wound. Instead of labeling others, ask, what pressure might they be facing? This isn't naivety. It's wisdom. Each morning, sit quietly and choose 1 principle to live by. Listen without interrupting. Help without expecting thanks. These small acts shape your character. When you stop judging, you create space for healing, yours and others. Your life becomes a silent pillar of strength. Lead not with criticism, but with compassion. That's how Stoics change the world, 1 quiet example at a time. 9. Don't be swayed by the crowd. 1 comment, 1 glance, 1 comparison, and suddenly your confidence wavers. In today's world, validation often comes from likes, titles, and praise. But Stoics teach that true worth comes from living by your principles, not others' opinions. When you depend on approval, you rise with praise and fall with criticism. You stop living. You start reacting. J.K. Rowling faced 12 rejections before Harry Potter was published. She didn't rewrite her story to please others. She believed in it. That's Stoic strength, quiet, unwavering self-respect. Each morning, write down 3 things that make you proud, unrelated to recognition. A promise kept, a boundary honored, a kind act done in silence. These are your anchors. When you know who you are, compliments won't inflate you and criticism won't crush you. You walk lighter, not because the crowd accepts you, but because you've accepted yourself. Inner freedom begins when you stop living to please others. And when storms come, that freedom becomes your shield. Live not for applause, but for alignment. That's the Stoic way, steady, grounded and true. 10. Stay strong and steady. Life won't always follow your plans. You may lose your job, face betrayal, or wake up feeling lost. In those moments, Stoics don't wish for ease. They train for resilience. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Strength isn't avoiding storms, it's sailing through them. Thomas Edison's lab burned down, destroying years of work. He didn't despair. He said, Thank God we can start anew. That's not blind optimism, it's mastery. Resilience means accepting what you can't change and acting anyway. Each morning ask, how can I be stronger than yesterday? Don't wait for perfect conditions. Take one small step, make one wise choice, change one attitude. Action, however small, breaks paralysis. You can't control the wind, but you can set your sails. When you stop demanding ease, you discover your true foundation, inner steadiness. And when life falls apart, you don't collapse, you rise. Not as a victim, but as the captain of your ship. That's Stoic strength, calm, deliberate, and unshakable. Practice it daily, and you'll become resilient in every storm. Conclusion. Each morning offers a quiet invitation to begin again, not with perfection, but with purpose. These 10 Stoic habits are more than routines. They are tools to build resilience, clarity, and inner peace. By practicing calmness, humility, gratitude, and perseverance, you shape a mind that remains steady amid chaos. You stop reacting and start responding. You stop chasing approval and start living with integrity. The world may be unpredictable, but your inner strength can be constant. Let every sunrise remind you, you have the power to choose how you live, and that choice, made daily, becomes your greatest strength.